Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back with you for our annual Thanksgiving service in our communities. I suppose there are some mayors across New Jersey that would take a look at this insert you have in your program and see all the different houses of worship in our communities, and they might cringe. Look at all these property tax exempt facilities. However, I am not one of them. I am quite proud and honored to live in a community that makes all of these houses of worship and all the associated membership of those houses of worship feel so welcome in the community. I think it speaks a lot of our community about our character and about ourselves, and I encourage it. And I think it bears repeating that not only do we have in this ministerium representatives of the various houses of worship, but we also have representatives of municipal government, of Board of Education, our YMCA, our JCC, and for all of them to be able to gather together in a house of worship, I think is important and perhaps makes us somewhat unique. So, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Now, we're going to hear that quite often in the coming week, Happy Thanksgiving. And perhaps in the past and on into the future, most of us, when we hear that phrase, we try to think about the Thanksgiving part of it, the giving thanks. And that's appropriate. I'd like to examine the other word for a second, the happy part. Just recently I came upon a survey done by Pew Research that asked the population in the United States what makes us happy. And there were some rather interesting findings. We've all heard that saying money can't buy you happiness. Not necessarily true. They found that money can indeed make you happy. Makes sense, I suppose. I don't know if it's sacrilege to mention a rock and roller like David Lee Roth, who once said, money may not be able to buy you happiness, but it can sure buy you a big enough boat that can pull up right alongside it. So money can buy you happiness. Okay. Married people, more happy than unmarried people, survey says. And since I see Scotch Plains Television is taping tonight and my wife might be watching, absolutely. Married people are much happier. Amen. Older people, believe it or not, are happy. People over the age of 55 tend to be happier than younger people. I see that's why Reverend Porter always has a smile on his face. Something for me to look forward to. Believe it or not, we're in the post-political season, but for some reason, Republicans happen to be happier than Democrats. Now, I don't know whether the survey was done before this past election or not, but perhaps things have changed a little bit. But the finding that I found really relevant, especially for this time of year, is that people of faith, people that have accepted God into their lives, people that are religious in nature, are disproportionately happier than those who are not. And that's why I see some smiling faces out there. We are indeed people of faith because we are here tonight with our community, and that's why we are happier. So think about it when you gather on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Some of us might be happy because we are appropriately gathering with family and friends. Some of us might be happy because we're about to partake in a bountiful and wonderful meal. Some of us might be happy because our favorite football team might be playing during the day. I suspect, though, that at some time during your day, and whether your tradition is to give thanks to God before your meal or after your meal, when everyone's heads become unbowed and you look up, that is when you might see the biggest smiles of all. Think about it and have a happy Thanksgiving.